Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy, the Strongest Wizard, and tonight is indeed fight night, and we have Endeavor starting us off with that mono blue croc, and then we have myself on the right with that dual color green and purple Doffy. Now, I have been grinding out, testing a lot of OP03 as of late, but we are back on the OP04 grind because it's coming up, and yeah, Endeavor, of course, starting off. Like I did mention before, him going first is actually super good. Yeah, just reorganizing his deck there with that prone ability, passing it back to me, and then I'm gonna actually go ahead and not have any play this turn, but I do want to mention that I do have 5 life. I do end up correcting that very shortly. But quick shout out to today's sponsor, which is DXN Outpost, DXN Provisions, the only place where I get all my sealed product. And right now we have OP05 open for pre-order, so if you're interested in any of that really good OP05 business, check the link down below. So we see a 5k swing going into life and end up taking it, and I think in my hand I have like 2 to 3 Thunder Bagua, so kind of a rough hand, but I do have that Nami, which is really nice. So of course we saw that Doffy reorganizing the top 5 cards of his deck and passing turn, and now we see a 5k swing going into Endeavor. He does end up taking it. I'm gonna throw the Nami, the 3-cost Nami down, tapping 1 to grab a film card from the top 3 cards of my deck, and sending the rest to the bottom. Passing turn, leader ability, restand to Dawn. And now we see Endeavor here swinging 5k into lead. Do I want to take it? And yes, I do want to take it because I need more cards. I need more cards. So we see the Zeph coming down, being able to bounce my Nami back to my hand, kind of slowing me down just a little bit. And yeah, I mean that's the blue things. We're gonna see a lot of bounce, a lot of bottom decking. We did see a lot of new additions coming to the Croc deck, so we're gonna see exactly here. I'm gonna go ahead and tap 2 here. Most likely gonna drop that sugar, if you can see my hand right now, and that's most likely what's gonna happen here. So yes, sugar to suspend the Doffy, swinging 5k into it, and it does go down, tapping 3 to tap another to drop that Nami, using ability, grabbing a Fiesta. Finally, we have a searcher to grab some more film cards is what we need here. And so of course resetting 2, but we see the bottom decking of the Nami. You hate to see it. The bottom decking Namis is so good, but we see a 5k swing going into life here, and I am most likely going to counter out of it. Yes, I am. I'm down to 2 life, and I don't want to go further down to 2 if I don't have to. We see an 8k swing going into life. That's an easy 4k counter here, which we are going to see, which is going to be that Thunder Bagua to have another another rested Dawn here. But we see the PreOrder coming down, reorganizing the top 5 cards of his deck. And speaking of that Thunder trigger, honestly, being able to use that ability is super good. But we're gonna have to use the sugar ability here because it is actually mandatory when your opponent plays a character. I do have to rest sugar no matter what, so I am gonna have to rest that PreOrder, which is not a problem. We're gonna go to tap 1 here to drop that Fiesta. Do I see a Luffy here? Maybe I can use Luffy to chain into something else that's in my hand, but we see that 3 Doffy. I'm not sure if you saw that. We saw 3 10-cost Doffy going to the bottom of the deck. I'm not sure if my deck was just really badly shuffled or what's going on. I don't know what kind of mind tricks my boy Endeavor is doing on my deck right now, but it is working. So we see a 5k swing going into life here, and he's gonna take it. I'm gonna tap another one to throw another Fiesta down, to grab finally that Luffy. Do I have enough Dawn to do so? Yes, I do. Dropping a Luffy for 7 here to play out most likely a Zoro. Zoro is an extremely good addition to the deck. Jackson really put me onto this. But we see the 9-drop Mihawk bottom decking the Kid, and using ability here to suspend the Zeph here with the sugar, and swinging over with that PreOrder 5k swing into life. I'm gonna go ahead and counter out of it with that Shiki and passing turn. Now this is a very interesting position because I am trying to build my board, but Endeavor is slowly just picking me off, of course with all that removal. But we've seen 8k swing going into Zeph. I kind of want to guarantee its death here, which it does end up going down. And I'm gonna go ahead and swing a 7k swing into life here. He's gonna end up taking it. But do we see a trigger? Yes, we see a trigger of that brand new card. It bottom decks like a 6 cost or lower on trigger, which is absolutely insane. I don't know how that happened, but go ahead and dropping the guild and unresting 2 Dawn off leader ability, and we see chaining Mihawks, and this is probably worst case scenario for myself, but we see the 2k counter, we see a 9k swing. I'm going to take it, and we can counter out of the 5ks. We're not counting out of the 9s. That would require 2 cards out of my hand, and I need to save it for the late game. But let's see if I can come back from this. We see a 7k swing going into life. I need to apply pressure as my win con essentially. I need to go for life as fast as possible. I do know that he has a ton of counter slash trigger, so let's see exactly what I can do. Tapping another 1/4 Fiesta. All of my cards are getting bottom decked right now, and unfortunately we see a 2k counter. I mean, it's still a 2k counter. It's better than a guild, right? So let's see here exactly what I want to do, but we're gonna see the Uta 4 cost coming down, and actually passing turn. I don't really have any other plays in my hand right now, so it is rather unfortunate that we just have an Uta facing 2 giant Mihawks and the Croc, of course. Let's see if I can last, how much longer I can last this game. Now Endeavor is only at 1 life though, so it is possible, and technically Fiestas are at 0k, but they could become 5ks with 5 Dawn attached to them, of course. So let's see here. Endeavor deciding where he wants to add his Dawn, most likely going into a 7k swing with that Croc, and yes, we do see that 7k swing into Croc. Now, am I gonna block with the Uta? Is that a thing? I feel like I honestly have to, and the reason why I feel like I have to is because he can just use the ability to bounce Uta back to my hand. So in my logic here is I have to block this, rest of PreOrder because it doesn't really matter what it is, return 1 Dawn off the effect, 9k swing going into life, and now I have to counter out of this. We did the Thunder here to get that 1 Dawn back, and then counter with the 2k, and he has still 8 Dawn active, which is a ton. And now we see a huge 11k swing going into life. I'm gonna go ahead and take that, and we see the Miss Sunday coming down, and we see another Miss Sunday coming down. Not enough Miss Sundays. We need more. So passing turn here. Yeah, this is looking pretty rough here. Double blocker is kind of savage. If I have a sugar, I could get rid of 1, suspend 1, and then just try to go for game. But unfortunately, we do not have that right now. So most likely, we'll see what we can do here. How defensive can we play? Now, mind you, I have to keep in mind that I do have multiple event cards in my hand, so I need to make sure I have enough active Dawn for that. Of course, leader ability does help with that. So we see the Nami coming down, grabbing the Uta, dropping the Uta straight from the hand there, and then passing turn, setting to active. So currently we have 4 open Dawn with that Uta, and now we're in the same position as we were earlier, where I am forced to block this attack, or else I get 0 value. Resting 1 of these Sundays here, hopefully I last another turn. But let's see here exactly how much he wants to commit to a swing. I do have 4 active Dawn. We see a 9k swing going into life. I need to counter out of this. I have no more blockers. We see a 9k counter coming down plus the Uta from hand, and we see a huge 12k swing going into life. Do I have enough counter? No, I do not, and Endeavor does win this one. So yeah, thank you guys so much for checking out this channel and this video, and stay tuned because I have a ton of new OP04 content coming out soon. See ya!